Hello, everybody. Eduardo Jackson, blacksandbitcoin.com. It is Monday, March 19th. Quite a weekend we had there where everything seemed doom and gloom, but damn it, if Bitcoin ain't the honey badger. And actually, crypto overall, it rebounded. And this reminds us of a familiar pattern we've seen where on the weekends, the crypto market goes to shit. And some people go so far as to turn their bots off on the weekend and then come back on Monday where Sandy's been restored. And if you are a lover of technical analysis, I've kind of come late to the party, but I'm now better understanding it. It wasn't so bad because you saw this coming. Now, let's take a look at what we're hodling. We've got bags. We've got no balance. This is why it is important to have a healthy respect for maintaining the appropriate max pairs. As you can see, I actually went up to 10 pairs because I got antsy. I was seeing in the possible buy log all these juicy pumps yesterday, late yesterday, and I wanted in on the action. That is a no-no, y'all, because you can get stuck with not having enough DCA and not having enough balance to DCA your way out of some bags. Now, Icon has been crushing it. It's going to be fine. Ripple, I'm a long-term hodler of Ripple. Ripple over a long-term will be fine. It makes new deals seemingly every other week. Substratum, I am a huge believer in. So even though this is down almost 10%, I'm not tripping. Ethereum is Ethereum. That's not going anywhere. I guess there was some rumors about someone dumping a bunch of Ethereum or selling a bunch of Ethereum to pay for one of their projects. Well, I think it was like EOS or something. So this is just a temporary situation. It will, of course, recover just like Bitcoin will. Digitite. So I learned some interesting info about Digitite DAO. Turns out Digitite DAO is somewhat pegged to the price of gold, I guess. So that's part of the reason why it just seems to be fairly resilient. Like it goes on these huge spikes and very rarely drops. It's going to spike back up again. So I'm fine with that. And also look at the volumes for all these. Volumes, all these are pretty much primo. Over 1,000. Look at in Ethereum, like 10,000 BTCs worth traded in the last 24 hours. It's not going anywhere. It's second highest market cap of any coin. I'm fine with holding Ethereum through double-digit bags. GVT, I'm not as familiar with, but it's got pretty good volume. So as the market pumps, and look at this, last 24 hours, 12%. It's going to be fine in the long term. Oh, it looks like our sell-only mode got turned on. Thanks to the Yuki Noel. The Yuki Noel script. Hi, Ukes. See? Doing what it does. Look at this. Price changed by 5% several hours ago, and it kicked into sell-only. Price changed by 2% over the last 45 minutes, so it kicked on to sell-only mode. So if we had balance to buy, which we do not, we will not be buying anything while it continues to pump. Or actually, well, I guess in that case it dropped 2%, but we've seen BTC go up as high as 8,700 overnight. So seems like some of the TA is coming to fruition. My only concern here on this list, XMR Monero is a great privacy coin. We know it works. Shout out to the BitPetite scammers, you scum. But I'm a little bit worried about MCO. It's a little bit light on the volume that we want. Of course, we got into this when the volume was over 870. Same thing with sub. But the one that concerns me most is DLT, Agrello. Now, Agrello, I mean, there's not much we can do with this now if we want to avoid selling at a major loss. I'm just hoping that it continues to pump with the rest of the market. And you want to talk about pumped up markets. Take a look at the market. Let's just refresh to get the latest. Let's clear this. There we go. Everything is in green over the last 24 hours. Look, all green. Even, boring ass tether, 0.01. Green. You got to go. How far you got to go down? Wow, we are This is a day unlike any other. The top 100, everything green. It's wild. So this is a day that even though we haven't sold any bags yet, we had one small sale when we briefly brought it up to 10 pairs because I got impatient. Don't do that, kids. You're gonna see in your possible buy log all this juicy stuff coming. Don't do it. If you are stuck in bags, don't do it. You're gonna have to wait it out. But the only bag I am somewhat concerned about is a Grello DLT, only because its volume is super low and shitty. Let's take a look at a Grello real quick because we might know everything we need to see in its chart. So this is a daily chart. It's been this is what kind of concerned me. So it had like a really big pump early. I guess it's only been listed since the end of December. So fairly new coin. It's had some big pumps early, and then the volume just dropped off the table. And then it had a pump, which is probably where it caught us. No, we got in fairly late. So this one we might want to put on our possible shitcoin list because it doesn't seem like it's sustaining enough volume to be interesting. And 58 is just way too low. So we have it on sell only mode right now, and we'll show you the settings in a second. And it says max buy times. We changed our max buy down to 4 because anything over that, I mean, especially when you're this deep, you're basically throwing good money after bad, in my estimation. But once we get out of DLT, we're pretty much done with DLT. So let's go to the settings real quick. Made a few tweaks. Pause this if we need to get down all the shit coins and all the rest of the settings. I was tempted to go sell only mode for DLT. You know what? Let's get back to that. Yeah, true. Doesn't matter. We're already maxed anyways, but we're not getting back into DLT. We're just not doing it. So it's not already on our shitcoin list. It will be after we sell this bag eventually. And I did it. I bowed to peer pressure. This is why we have 0.001 balance left. I changed my all max cost to 1.8%. I bowed to peer pressure. I was at 2.4. I'm down to 1.8 because we want to be able to service any new coins we pick up once we sell off some of these bags today. I want to get in for a little bit less, only so we can have a little more wiggle room with our remaining balance. Buy volume stays the same. You got to keep it premium, at least 700, 800, because you'll get caught in some of these pumper dumps or these really, really schizophrenic coins like Agrello. And I did bring it down to 8 after going briefly overnight to 10 pairs. Just keep it at 8. You need to have more balance to DCA with. Max buy spread is the same. Because these are just pairs. We're going in with best of intentions. You don't want too wide a spread because that could mean your coin is not being traded closely enough, and you might get caught there holding a bag. These we actually increased the buy or decreased or whatever. Negative. We went from -309 to -55. Trailing buy stays the same. All sell value we pumped up a little bit to 0.99. And I'll tell you why in a minute once we go to DCA. I want a little more. I want a little more profit on coins that haven't DCA'd yet, or at least the sell trigger. And then we're aiming for a min profit of 1.85, while everything's still all good, and everything else pretty much is the same. Shit coins still the same, or new coins. Sorry, we don't know if they're shit yet, but these are new. And the issue behind getting into a new coin too soon is that usually when these coins that are new to an exchange get listed, they either pump or they dump. But either way, you have high fluctuations of the valuation until it settles into a pattern of low volume. And you do not want to be caught with a low volume bag. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't get caught out there. All right, DCA. We've changed our max buy from 5 to 4. This pretty much doesn't really matter right here. I'll leave it in here for posterity in case we need to go back to it. But we're trying to DCA tighter earlier to reduce the chances of getting these really deep bags. All right. And be honest with you, these really expensive bags too. You let something go down to 6, 12, 15%, you are buying at a huge premium than if you just DCA'd shorter to keep the profit percentage negative, that the negative profit percentage lower. Our trailing buy. So shout outs to Crypto Face in all his profane, politically incorrect glory. He's took a cue from him. He has increased his trailing buy to 0.777%. That's higher than our trailing buy in DCA. I think our trailing buy in DCA before is 0.20%. And the rationale behind this, I think, is actually fairly smart because you're giving it more room to see before you DCA whether this thing is just a sinking rock or if it's got potential to swerve back in the opposite direction. All right. So 0.77 is a big improvement over 0.20. We got a little riskier. We increased our max buy spread from 1 to 2.25. Crypto Face has this on 4.5. He don't give a fuck. So I'm still more cautious. I'm kind of splitting the difference here. 4.50 is pretty high. I've gone as high as 3 in the past before. 2.25 is a bit of a compromise. You know what? Actually, we'll pump it to 2.5. Maybe he knows what he's doing. I'm a little scared, so we're going to keep it right there. Sell trigger's the same. Our sell value. Now, this I reduced. Now, this is why I went to get more profit on the pairs side, only because I'm reducing the profit on the DCA side. I'm having regrets. You know regrets? I've got regrets. I'm having regrets from, what was it, Saturday when I think it was DGD, Digital Bow or whatever they call it, Digital. It went up to as high as like 2%. And because I was being all greedy, my trailing profit was fine, 0.5. My sell value is at 1.85. I think went up as high as 2.10% before it plunged down below my trailing profit line and then back into, or below my sell trigger and then back into stasis. Now we're holding bags. I was getting a little too greedy. If you're having a DCA bag get as high as 1.59, and then it kicks on, I would have sold it. With these settings, I would have sold that bag. I would have sold that bag that had turned into profit when it triggered 2.10, once it dropped below 1.85. I would have sold that bag with these settings. I'm having regrets. So I'm lowering my sell value just a little bit, from 1.85 down to 1.59, to see if that will help us scalp some of these profits today from these bags we're holding. And here's a change I made. Now, I'm not suggesting you make this change. This is only because I was nominally out of balance, and I want to get some of these bags cleared on a day that is clearly pumping. I reduced my min buy balance to 0. Usually I keep this at 0.7, 0.007, 0.008 to leave room for new pairs to get in while some of these bags are DCAing. I'm not doing that because we have no room to DCA. And I thought about increasing my pairs log again, but that's just being impatient and silly. Today is a day for patience. BTC is all over the place, but it is mostly trending up, and I'll tell you why when we go to the trading view in a second. So if you already have a decent amount of balance left, do not mess with your min buy balance. If you are stuck holding bags like I am, and you want to try clearing them today, you might want to give up the rest of your balance to try to do it. This will be a test. I'm notoriously impatient. Today will be a test of my patience as I fight the feeling to get in on a bunch of these possible buys. Now I'm glad they made this updated profit trailer because it will let you know what you're missing out on, but don't do it. Don't do it unless you have the room in your max pairs. We're keeping max pairs at 8, damn it. We're going to try to clear it. We're trying to sell some bags, get a little extra balance to fight off the DCAs and these other ones. But for the most part, we've got, what, 3 or 4 of these maxed out? Yeah, 2 of these are maxed out. And this one is definitely long-term hold, so I'm not worried about Monero. And these 2 could use another DCA, especially on the day it's pumping. So yeah, so if we even get like another, 0.03 back in the kitty, we could DCA these suckers back into a position where we might be able to get out of these bags today. So stay strong, my friends. Stay strong. Resist the urge to sell bags at a loss or to open up your max pairs higher. All right, so one way I like to look at the charts on days like today, I like to see the highest changers in profit, right? And some of these are on our shit list because there's way too volatile. Look at Vibe. Just listed, this is the 1-day chart. Just listed, huge run up, and then nothing. Nothing. And then it spikes today when on a day that everything's spiking. Don't get cut out there. Look at the volume also. When I look at these biggest gainers, I always try to look at the volume. Now the volume today in the last 24 hours has been good, but historically, pretty shitty. All right. So, and then you can also look at these crossing symbols down here. These kind of let you know like how I think they're called the MACD. I'm not like a big chart analyst guy. I couldn't tell you exactly how everything works. All I know is that when these two tend to be crossed and then one's going higher and one's, you know, and about the same, it tends to be a fairly good signal. I don't know. I'm very wary about Vibe. I'm probably keeping it on my shit list for another day, just kind of see how it performs. Another thing I like to do also is I like to check out the 15-minute or 5-minute breakdown. Come on, let's do this. There we go. 5-minute breakdown lets you know within the day like how things are really moving. Had a nice little pump, and now looks like it's selling off a little bit. The volumes are getting lower, as you can see down here. I don't know, but yeah, I'd stay away from Vibe for at least another day. It needs to prove itself to me. Back to the daily. And then some of these other ones, which seem really tasty, but once again, low volume. It's nothing to pump a low volume coin on a day that everything's going up. And then if you buy into it, you'll get caught holding a bag. That's why Wing's on the shit list. That's why DNT's on the shit list. That's why, well, Quantum's not on the shit list, but Quantum also tends to get its pumps. I want a coin with a lot of, like Cardano. It's a top 10 coin, number 6 overall. It's got volume for days. I don't mind messing with Cardano. That's why it's not on the shit list. You want these high volume coins. You just do. All right. So when you're checking to see what some of the highest movers are, if you're looking at possibly doing some manual trading, you know, picking some for yourself and rolling with it, just make sure you always check the volume. Don't get caught out there. On a day like today, 800, 900, 1,000 in Bitcoin over the last 24 hours is the least in volume you want. All right. And then finally, TradingView. We saw this coming. Why? Because we are on TradingView. Dark Energy, a recent addition to the top ranks in TradingView, but a pretty interesting analyst. He gives you different scenarios. In his blue scenario, he felt like we'd drop down to under 8,000 before we pumped up to 10,000. His other scenario was we would go up to about 9,000, which is the purple one, and then drop down to 8,300-ish, and then pump back up to 10 and then 12,000 and beyond over the span of like a week or so. And he was talking about all this stuff like, what was it? This was 12 hours ago. So if you're following him on TradingView, we were aware, all right, that this was possible. And a lot of this stuff I have no idea about. Elliott waves, you know, Fibonacci retracements. I just take their word for it. And it kind of, you know, get the general mood or feeling. But basically, these things go in cycles, is what you're led to believe, all right? And basically, his latest chart saying that we're forming a bull flag, which is another indicator, one of these technical indicators that we're about to run up. And so here's his latest chart. His latest chart has the bull, I guess this is the forming of a bull flag, which means it's probably going to jump up to about 8,800, bounce down to 8,200, and then start its progression upward again, that on the purple line. And then the blue line, these are, you know, and the thing about most trading analysts, technical analysts will do is they'll give you a range of outcomes. It's like in poker. I don't know if any of you have studied poker professionally, you watch poker or whatever, but basically you never try to put your opponent on exactly one hand. You want to put them on a range of hands. This is the same thing in TA. They're putting you on a range of outcomes, all right? What they think is most likely to happen based off of their analysis of the charts, math, and historical patterns of psychology and trends, all right? And all trends really are the active buying of psychological factors in the marketplace, all right? And so the blue one, boom, boom. Either way, all signs are pointing up over the next couple days. It's very exciting, getting back over 9,000. And he gives you a bunch of scenarios like what levels need to hold in order for X to happen. So X holds, then Y will happen. All right. So I highly advise getting onto TradingView. I follow Dark Energy. I follow Magic Poop Cannon. Great name. He's been a little bit more bearish, but I think he might be coming around now. See, bear flag. Now he's like, if it forms a bull flag, we can have a breakout, which we're currently experiencing. And now it says we just popped out a bull flag formation, ran to resistance at one of these Fibonacci retracement levels. It was unable to surpass the 50 EMA in orange. That'd be that right here. And reverse back below it. It says if it confirms above the 78.6 retrace, give me an indication that we'll move to test the top of the downtrend channel. This is the top of the downtrend channel right here, from what I understand. All right. And until that materializes, he thinks we're still going to be in the downtrend. So two opposing viewpoints. That's why you need to follow more than one. It'll give you a more well-rounded idea what the market of what the tech analysts are thinking. And this one is Gold Bug One. I think is a little bit more bullish. 7 hours ago, he basically is like wait and see, but he thinks it's going more bullish. And then his chart here, check it out. He said that now this is based off of okay, this is a longer view chart. Okay, all right, so this is us right now. He thinks we can either go down before we bounce back up. 4,300 is scary as fuck. Hopefully not. A more optimistic view is we can go up to 13,000, bounce in about May, bounce down to 8,500 before we bounce back up to 3,200. Both his projections are seeing us going to 3,200 by the end of the year. It's not bad. Sorry, 32,000 by the end of the year. That's not too bad. I personally think we could possibly hit about 55,000, mostly because there'll be a lot of good news coming this summer, especially once Goldman Sachs opens its cryptocurrency trading desk. That is going to happen, my friends. And once Goldman, and you saw it, Goldman bought Circle. Named by Circle. Sorry, Goldman has invested in Circle, which bought Poloniex, which is a U.S.-based smaller exchange that's still somewhat popular, but smaller exchange. Goldman doesn't make moves to lose. When they help crater the global economy through all their exotic synthetic CDOs, and we talked in the last video about synthetic anything, it's bullshit. But when they help crater the global economy from the recklessness, they got bailed out 100 cents on the dollar. The government paid them money just to keep their bank open and afloat. It's heads they win, tails you lose. All right. So if Goldman's involved, I think from a fundamental analysis standpoint, not a technical analysis standpoint, we're going to be going pretty high. I would like to think that 32,000 by the end of the year is probably a baseline, to be honest with you. All right. That's my opinion. Once again, none of this is trading advice. What do I know? Damn it. I'm just on here making videos, testing out Profit Trailer, doing what I can. But I appreciate you all tuning in. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend to share a friend. Hopefully you are making more than I am today because you are not caught in these dumbass bags. But hold on there, my friends. HODL. Today is a great day to be in crypto, where we are all the way up. Everyone's green. Everyone at top 100's green. Great day to be in crypto. And you've earned it, damn it. If you've been hodling all this time, you've earned it. So hang tight, my friends. Keep the faith and hodl if you hear me.